Hey, welcome back, people. I know it's been 2 weeks since I have last posted any sorts of video of this kind. I have some very good topic to talk about today. It's kind of a podcast, if you would like to say. So I'll be talking for like about 10 minutes, 15 minutes straight without, giving any visual or anything. I want to just express my views on some of the things that are happening in the Counter-Strike scene regarding teams as well. It's just a concern, and this is my point of view, and if you do believe that this point of view is correct, I'd appreciate it. And if you don't believe, even if you believe or don't believe, hit that comment section below. Let me know what are your thoughts on whatever I talk next, and we'll get to know, we'll get to know each other, what's going on. Okay, so until then, hey, welcome back again. So as far as my intro is concerned, it's pretty shit. I do believe that it's the case. Okay, so enough bullshit. I'll just dive straight to the topic. Okay, so the topic of today's video is a 6-man roster, or the 7-man roster, whatever you play. Apart from the 5-man roster, any other players added to the CS community is the topic today. Okay, so we have seen recent news that Nivera has been signed to Vitality as a 6th-man replacement or something like that, and I feel it's quite good for the kid itself, because he is so young and he's so unproven at that scene that it's a very good decision for both Nivera as well as the team Vitality, saying that team Vitality now has a reserve player who people thinks that he's a great player and he would be a great asset to the team overall. So I believe this is going to work something like this. So once one of the 5 members or the starting lineup members, if they are unable to play or they are performing poorly, Nivera would be a 7 straight away. But right now it's not the case, since I do believe he's on a training platform where he would be watching closely the team culture, how the team plays, how it's supposed to play in a top tier organization and a top tier team. It's a good move, to be honest. I have no problems with the move whatsoever, and it's only beneficial for Nivera to be a part of this sort of organization who is dominating most of the times in the CS community right now, even in the online era. In the offline, the LAN era as well, Vitality is a very good team, so I do hope that Nivera gets to learn so many things that he hasn't learned in the last teams that he has been part of. It's very good. It's a very good signing. Okay, I keep repeating it myself, because I do believe that he is a kind of player which people are thinking to be the next Scream. Even his older brother Scream has said that he's a great player and he would be a great asset to any team. So I do believe that that's the case. And Vitality has made the secret deal. Here's my concern with the 6-man or 7-man roster. This is not something to do with Nivera. I do believe that he's a kind of player that will fit right in to the team once he gets the chances to play. But other than that, we have seen many teams come up with the 6-man, 7-man roster. As for example, Astralis, the top contender in the top team, for quite some time in the entire CS community, to be taking part in online tournaments as well as offline LAN tournaments. So they have signed multiple 6-man, 7-man rosters apart after Glaive and Zipnex have taken leave from Astralis as a break. So now that they are back, my only concern is, current 6-man, 7-man rosters where bubzkji as a 6th man and S-Attack as a 7th man. What kind of mentality did those two players have when they were willing to sign up for the 6-man and 7-man roster, 6-man team or 7-man team in the Astralis under the Astralis organization? What sort of contract where they received? Was it very beneficial for their beneficial for the styles of play where they're perfect fit in once the starting lineup was not able to perform up to the level? It's just a question to me, because aren't they very well suited to be a member of the starting lineup in any other team? Like bubzkji, for example, he was a starting member in the Mad Lions lineup, and they were performing very well until Hunter left, of course. So it's just a matter of fact, because I do feel it's sometimes very confusing of a role that a 6th player or a 7th player has in a team. Is it just to be a sub in, or does he take part in all of the team practices? I do believe they do take team practices very very, very, seriously with this kind of structure placed in the teams. But yeah, it's only a question when will they lose their motivation, or do they have the motivation to play in a sub role for the entire career, even though the performing team, the starting team in the current organization is doing its great. Yeah, these are some of the concerns that I haven't found the answers to still yet, and maybe only the players can give these answers on why they chose to, in the caliber of Tag and bubzkji, why did they choose to be a part of such a structural decision, and where they could never be a permanent fix to the starting lineup, and they would be only a sub in and time out. So let's take an example of the Glaive and what is that, Glaive and Xyp9x situation. Once Glaive and Xyp9x were out, Astralis brought in Yugi, Astralis brought in some other players. Then came bubzkji, who never got a chance to play with Astralis. I don't know when he's able to play, or what's the condition that he is able to play under the starting lineup. And then you got Tag. Tag did get some matches at the end. I think it's the last 3 or 4 months he's been playing in the starting lineup. But then again, only Glaive was available in the starting lineup, and Xyp9x was still not available. So he was playing mostly the Xyp9x spots, which I'm there's no doubt that he has been playing lights out, and he has been in his best performance in this entire 3 to 4 months that he has been a part of Astralis. But again, so if you do not take Astralis as an example, let's take Fnatic as an example. If they sign a 6th player, what role will that 6th player be having? And that 6th player is a very renowned player, and who has a lot of experience in his back. Wouldn't he want to be a starting lineup? Wouldn't he want to be a starting member in some of the lineup? Or is it something that he is willing to sacrifice for the team, since an experienced player or an older player, if you're signing an older player, the older player has his peak for performance, and it's past his years, and he's only there to give the knowledge and his experience to the younger team. That's the case where I see that 6-man or 7-man is possible. 6-man is possible. 7-man is out of question. It's no doubt a bullshit. I don't know what's going on in the TO's decisions, where they are planning to sign a 7-man. Let's take it's complete bullshit, to be honest. Astralis signing 7-man. What are they possibly trying to do? Make a 10-man roster where your starting 5 participates in some other roster, and your second reserve 5 takes part in some other event. It seems so foolish of me. They're just spending money on they're just spending the utilities as well as organizational capabilities on something that's not even viable in this Counter-Strike scene. It's not a question of, is this going to work? I know this is going to work, okay? Astralis is a team that makes everything work, but what's the mindset that I'm really concerned about? The mindset of the players that are going to be signed. It's very, very tough for those players to be not part of the starting lineup, and to be given the Medal of Honor as being the reserved player of Astralis. And what's that going to be? What's that going to achieve anything? It's a matter of time until many other organizations, many other teams, in the top teams, sign those players once they get the taste that, okay, these players are under Astralis for a long time. They've been performing quite well, and now they have been given the chance. And now that the Astralis is not even going to care if they're in the starting lineup, let's just sign them. Okay, Astralis in this manner, Astralis will never have the 10-man teams. Once they sign a 7-man roster, some other team will pick them up, or the player himself will reach out to some of the organizations wanting him to be signed as the starting player in a starting lineup. So this is one of the major concerns why I think that the 7-man rosters are never going to work, and it's just a bluff that Astralis is playing to be. These are all the methodologies of replacing your starting lineup once they're not available. That's the main reason why Astralis was doing this thing. It's not a concern. I do believe that it was never a condition of making a 10-man lineup. It was only the condition to replace Glaive and Xyp9x until Glaive and Xyp9x comes back to the starting lineup, and replace those players. Make them sit on the bench as far as they are concerned. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with this entire Xyp9x, with this entire Tag as well as bubzkji situation. I'm quite happy that right now Tag has been signed with Cloud9, that he's going to be in the starting lineup of Cloud9's organizational starting team. But yeah, that leaves with bubzkji. I don't know what bubzkji is feeling right now. Being the only player right now on the bench for Astralis, who I probably think he'll never be able to play for Astralis. He'll be only part of the team practices, team cultures, and all shared media, so on. So where is he going to play for Astralis in the time being? It's a major concern, because you know Zipex has come back, Glaive has come back. This entire 5 starting lineup, who has won multiple majors on their own, they are all together now. What's the role of bubzkji in all of this? Is he just to be a sacrificial pawn? Is he just to be, you know, I will give my entire share of knowledge, what I've experienced in Mad Lions, and make this team come on the top again? Is it something that is that some kind of role that bubzkji is willing to take, or is he willing to be in the 6th man, you know, as a 6th man for his entire career? I do not think that's possible enough, you know. Someday or other, I think so bubzkji would call it quits from Astralis if he doesn't get a chance to play in Astralis. I think so right now he hasn't even played a single game for Astralis. I might be wrong here. He hasn't played a single game in Astralis as far as I'm concerned, and that's a really worrying sign for that player, because he's a player, he's an aggressive player, very aggressive player, you know, which many other teams could utilize. Be it a tier 2 team, I don't care, you know, as long as you are a part of you know starting organization and lineup. I think so it doesn't matter if you're tier 2 or tier 1. Tier 2 is very good because you get to work on that, you work on the team, and you get to, you know, make the team tier 1 someday. That's a possibility. I do believe that many other tier 1 teams are also looking to pick up bubzkji. If that's not the case, I don't think so. What's going on in the CS community is completely utter bullshit, and I do believe that the 7-man roster, 8-man roster, and as far as I know, 12-man fucking roster is never going to work. So yeah, that makes Esatag's journey to the Cloud9 a successful one. I do believe that he would be a great fit. I watched some of his demos and he feels a great fit. Although I would say that because he was playing so much Zipex position in Astralis, and he was in career peak form right then, I do believe that signing him to a, you know, opener, or sorry, not an opener, you know, an entry role in Cloud9, so that's a stretch. And I do believe that the team has to work out who needs to actually entry along with Esatag. I don't think so he would be the only one who would be, you know, able to entry alone. I think so Alex would also be doing it. So yeah, that's a question, that's a video for another day. So for today, yeah, that's the concern I have to put up with: 6-man and 7-man roster. And I think so many analysts, many journalists, many players have also you know, addressed the concern of 6-man roster and 7-man roster, and how far would they be viable in a team culture. I think so the team culture wise, it's pretty good, they would fit right in. But as far as I'm concerned, the team role wise, yeah, you could pick up players who would fit in quite some roles if one of the players falls sick. That's also a possibility. But then would he always want to be in that role forever, to be a sub to a top team, or does he want to play in the top team eventually in the starting lineup as a replacement, not as a replacement, as a permanent starting lineup, you know? So I don't think so being in Astralis that's even a possibility, because the kind of form that they are in, I don't think that's going to go down in the next 5 or 10 years as long as these players are on the team. But yeah, bubzkji need to find a good home as soon as possible, and I think this is the right time, since this is an online age. You need to prove you have proved yourself in Mad Lions as a LAN player. It's time to prove yourself, you know, to some other teams. You know, maybe sign a tier 2 team to begin with, and then when time comes, maybe make a shift to a tier 1 team. That's a possibility, you know. You can make these decisions on your own. Yeah, just staying with Astralis isn't the option, man. I think so this is a very good decision that you can make, and yeah, I mean, we all have to deal with it. As far as I'm concerned, I think so Cloud9 is also looking for a 6th player. But yeah, the kind of players that Henry G has you know, discussed that he's looking for is a well-experienced, you know, older kind of player. That way what will happen is the older player, since he's already past his prime, I think so it'll be a good fit for even Cloud9, because then the team would be able to, you know, get used to the experience that the older player has brought, or the more experienced player is in the team, and then that way maybe the 6th player could also help the team you know, achieve greatness, and also give some tips and tricks on how to and how he has won games, and how the player also could help to find out the mistakes that the players are making, the team as a whole, what their structure seems to be and what it should be. So these are the things that an experienced player could bring in. But yeah, I think so as far as signing younger players as a sixth man is a very good opportunity for both the parties. Signing very well experienced players is also a very good opportunity, who in this case is well past his prime. If he is in his prime or he hasn't reached it yet, I don't think so it's a good move for the player. It's a good move for the organization, don't get me wrong. It's only good for one side, it's not good for the other side. So that's the concern I have left with. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you have any concerns or any thoughts on what the 6-man or 7-man rosters you think should be, please comment down in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you watch this, hit that dislike button if you do not like this as well. Until next time, keep safe and peace out.